Today is more about definitions than it is about anything. And the little subject is polynomials. Polynomials mean, well, poly usually means many, nomials mean terms. You've been dealing kind of with this, but let me give you the examples because you really can't tell. If you just have one thing, okay, it is a single thing. One term is called a monomial. If you have two terms, now how do I know the difference between a one term and a two term thing? The thing that's really key is addition and subtraction signs that are not in parentheses. Those are what separate terms. So this has two terms. One term is x, the other term is 2. If a one-term thing is monomial, a two-term thing is, okay, Brad? Oh, come on. When we did this, we did a two-term thing times a two-term thing. What do we call that? Multiplying what? Come on. Pull through. Let me give you another, wait. If a one-term thing is a monomial, a two-term thing is a dosomial. No, this wasn't an uno. This is not a uno-omial. We're not in Spanish here. It is a binomial. What do you need, Ron? Are you calling to go home? You can go to the office and call? Oh, got it. Hope you feel better. And then guess what if you have this, a three-term thing is called, Elijah? Trinal. Thank you very much. Trinal. Now, please understand, you can only use these names, you have to simplify the terms first. In other words, if you can combine terms like this, if you have x plus 3x, that is not a binomial because you can put those two terms together because they're like terms. This is 4x. X plus 3x is this 4x. So this is still a monomial. You can't just, you got to have it in simplified form before you call it whatever it is there. Okay? Then when you have, and if it has more than that, we just call it whatever. Those are the only three really we talk about. You just say that it has 4 terms or 5 terms, or it's a polynomial. Along those same lines, we have what are called degrees. And this is where your notes come in very helpful because you won't remember this unless you put it in your notes. It's not something that comes up very often, but it does come up occasionally. And write this. The degree of a monomial is equal to the sum of the exponents of its variables. Just write that down before we talk about it. Emphasizing this, degree of a monomial is equal to the sum of the exponents of its variables. Sum exponents variables. So if I have a monomial that is 3x to the 5th y, the degree of this, to find the degree of this, you add the exponents of the variables, which are the letters. And one must understand, even though y doesn't have a number above it, there's always a number above it. It would be the number 1. We just don't put it there. So you add 5 plus 1. This is a 6th degree term because of the sum of the exponents of the letters. If it was just 3xy, what degree is that? Jaden, what's your degree? Yeah, this is a 2nd degree. What if it is 5 to the third power y? What degree is that? The degree there is, Elijah? It is not the fourth. Again, look at what I underlined. Sum of exponents of variables are the letters. Numbers don't matter. It is, yeah, this is a first degree term. Got it? Now, we have to go on because the degree of a polynomial is equal to the degree of its highest degreed term, which makes no sense to you. That's why we do examples. It's always good to have the words so you can sound intelligent. If you've got this big long polynomial, let's say you have 6x to the third y plus 8xy plus 9x. And I ask you for the degree of this polynomial. You just did monomials, a one-term thing. A polynomial, the degree of the polynomial, you have to look at each of the terms. How many terms is it? This is a trinomial. This has 3 terms. You have to then look at the degrees of each of the terms. What is the degree of this one? 3 plus 1 is 4. The degree of this one is a 2. The degree of this one is a 1. The degree of the polynomial is equal to the highest degree term. Since this one's degree is 4, this is a 4th degree polynomial. You don't add all of the terms' degrees together, you just look at the one that has the largest degree. And it doesn't have to necessarily be in that order, although. So if I had 7x plus 8x to the 5th minus 3x squared, what is the degree of that polynomial or that trinomial? Luke? It is, 5th degree. Highest degree term is right there. This is a 5th degree. And then the last thing we have to take note on is this. When you have polynomials, are always written in descending degreed term order, which to layman's mean you write them from highest degree to lowest. And again, an example will help you out immensely for this. If you have this example here, okay, what this whole thing says is, in math, and this is more for just clarification than really it has to be, but that's just the way it is. When you have, this is 4 terms, when you have 4 terms or any multiple terms, you always write it starting with the highest degree term. In other words, this is a 1, 2, 3, and a 5. When you write this down as your answer, you should start with the highest degree term. You put the negative 4x to the 5th first, followed by the 2x cubed, followed by the 3x squared, and then followed by the x, so that the terms are in descending order. You start with the biggest degree, next biggest, blah, 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 blah. Mostly because when I read the answer, if it's something like that, I'm gonna read it in that order. And for you to try to look at all different things or figure it out, it's just the way it is. So you always write it in descending order. How about that for some very new and exciting sort of thing? One more example here. From the book, this says, add the trinomials. Let's say you have this, x plus y minus 2, and you're adding that to x minus y plus 4. What would you get if you added those together? By the way, what if I just put a plus sign here, that'd be the same thing. What can I put together? Where are the like terms? Can I put this x with this x? Yes. X plus x is not x squared, that's x times x. X plus x is 2x. Y minus y, nothing, no y's. Negative 2 plus 4, 2. When you add those together, you get 2x plus 2. What's the degree of this binomial? Colquitt? Why is it second? So when we look at degrees, we look at the numbers in front. What are we supposed to look at? So what's the exponent? 1. So what's the degree? First degree. There you go. See how we fix all of our problems in the first degree. Is that clear? Like they say in a few good men, Crystal.